Since I was a small child, I was drawn to the ocean. I would stand for hours, staring at the huge open seas. When I asked my dad how big the ocean is, he would laugh and say, "Whatever you see is only the tip of the iceberg. A drop, yes, a drop in all the oceans and seas on the planet." And that's nothing, because all you can see is the surface. You can't see the world below. That's the real ocean. The depths and forms of life that live there. It's another world, full of wonder and mystery, full of magic and surprises which we humans can only gaze at with awe and admiration. And one day, son, he would say and smile, one day, when you're grown up, I'll take you on a dive with me. And finally, when I was 12, early one morning, Dad took me out on my first dive. Just as I thought I was falling in love with the sea, a school of reef sharks appeared from out of the depths and started circling us. When we got out of the sea, Dad explained that they had only come to check on the strangers who had arrived in their kingdom. I felt small and helpless facing them. Dad stayed close to the reef and signaled to me to do the same. They left after a few moments, without paying us much attention. Suddenly we looked up and saw something huge. Dad went nuts. He approached the enormous creature while I stayed close to the reef. But the gigantic thing intrigued me so much that I decided to approach. I felt so small next to it. And from the creature's point of view, we were merely two tiny, miserable fish swimming around him. I didn't want to go up, but the air in my tank was running out. Dad promised we would see him soon, up close. That was the first time my dad took me to work with him. My dad is a marine biologist. Once I thought that meant he was a detective who tracked pirates, but by now I already knew that he worked on a research ship and gathered marine life data. His speciality was sharks.
Gal, come and see WS9.
See what?
Your buddy, the whale shark you were so happy to meet.
What kind of name is that?
It's a whale shark, so the initials are WS. And that one is the 9th one that we've tagged. You know it's a shark, not a whale.
Of course. Can we see it from here? Is it really that close?
He's fitted with a tracking device that enables us to follow it. That's how we learn about his migration course.
And then Dad introduced me to a special man who had acquainted him with the sea.
Great! I see you've brought some food for the fish. But why so skinny? It won't be enough for all the fish.
Gal, meet Professor Max Tiberon, #1 expert on sharks and with a very strange sense of humor. I suggest he'll give you a little tour on the ship because I've got work to do.
Come on. I'm as scary as a shark, but funny as a clownfish. Come on, I'll show you around. I understand you're interested in sharks. And I want you to know that when you get to understand a little bit of the sea, you'll understand how much you don't know. The sea is so vast, Gal. And we are just visitors or observers that can only witness a small percentage of this incredibly vast and mysterious place we call the ocean. The beautiful whale shark you just saw feeds off plankton and is one of the open water sharks, most of which feed on fish and live in the oceans. They can reach tremendous speeds and can sense their food from a distance using a series of sensors along their bodies. And if you think that's special, look at the shark I'm researching right now. This is a white fin shark, one of the reef sharks. They live among the chasms and fissures of the coral reef. They're usually of medium size, which means they can move freely. Now let me show you the third group, the sand sharks. They're flatter and they hover above the sand in order to search for food. This guitar shark, for instance, can use his sensors to sweep the seafloor and find the food he needs.
Gal, we have to head back ashore.
Can I say goodbye to WS9?
Time passed. The years ran by, just like the water in the ocean, and I still enjoyed going out on wondrous journeys and discovering the underwater world. One day, Dad asked me if I would like to join them on a trip along the African coast, following the migration of the fantastic whale shark I remembered from my childhood. He told me that on trips like this, you can often be surprised by fantastic natural phenomena.
Professor, you have to come and see something out here. It's amazing.
Dad was right. It was the most amazing phenomenon I'd ever seen. A huge school of fish was swimming nearby, surrounded by predators. Birds were diving above, sharks and dolphins below. We dived in, and I witnessed one of the rarest of natural phenomena, a breathless scene that I'll remember forever. It was simply amazing. I was totally stunned. I couldn't believe I would witness such a rare occurrence.
Only one thing.
Yes?
How is it in this entire ocean the sharks know exactly where the shoal fish was?
As you already know, sharks have an excellent sense of sight and a very developed sense of smell. Did I tell you that sharks can actually sense 1 drop of blood in 1,000,000 drops of water?
1 in a million? Wow, that's quite a sense.
Professor Tiburon taught me about other senses sharks have, like their amazing ability to identify movement from a huge distance. That's how they find their food. And so I understood what the professor meant when he said that the shark was the king of the ocean. Sharks also clean the ocean by eating wounded and sick fish, thus preventing epidemics and contributing to the entire marine ecosystem. These sensory abilities have evolved over millions of years. Professor Tiburon then showed me a tooth of the ancient megalodon. Scholars claim that today's sharks are practically identical to prehistoric sharks, except for their size. The megalodon was huge, about 30 meters long, almost 3 times the length of the great white, the largest carnivorous shark today. Then the professor revived the megalodon right in front of me by showing me a simulation of an underwater prehistoric world. The great white shark is the most amazing creature in the ocean, the true king of the sea. I didn't believe that we would meet him on this trip, when suddenly he appeared, huge and impressive. Dad lowered a special camera into the water so that we could look at him up close. The white predator will eat larger animals and even marine mammals. That is why sometimes even humans are attacked. This doesn't justify the bad reputation they've received from various movies. Luckily, we lowered only a camera into the water. I could have watched him for hours, but we had to continue our trip. We finally reached the shores of Africa, following the migration route of the whale shark. I joined Professor Tiburon and we went ashore to buy some fresh food.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
This is fresh tuna. Very good for you.
Does anybody sell shark meat here in the market?
Oh, no shark. No. Shark is illegal.
When we told the fish salesman that we're marine biologists following a whale shark, he was very interested. With some hesitation, he told us that a shark poacher's boat had sailed an hour ago with the intention of hunting down the whale shark and selling its meat. I was in shock. Even though there is a law against hunting sharks, people still hunt them.
Shark hunters. That's what I was afraid of. We have to get to the whale shark before they do. If he gets stuck in a net, he won't last for more than an hour. He has to keep moving in order to get oxygen. He can't do that if he's stuck in a net. Come on.
Meanwhile, the shark hunters spread the net to catch the whale shark.
You didn't bring any food. What happened?
We found out the shark hunters are gonna catch WS9.
Shark hunters?
Yeah. Can we track him?
He's not very far. But we'll never get to him in time with this boat.
No. We gotta do something. What are we gonna do?
Wait a minute, let me think. I've got some friends here that can help. I'm getting a very clear signal. He's here.
We located the whale shark from the air, and we had to hurry to reach the net before the hunters, so that we could cut it and let the whale shark through. The whale shark continued right on track, approaching the net. There was a chance that we wouldn't make it on time. In that case, he would be caught in the net and choke. We were in a race against time to cut the net before he arrived. The whale shark continued on his way, without even being aware of our existence. This trip with Dad and Professor Tiburon was a journey I would remember for the rest of my life. A journey to the amazing and wondrous life of the underwater world.